Question: what are some advantages of quantitative research in World of Warcraft? Virtual worlds, being completely made out of representations, are easier to capture in their entirety. You capture text, sound and video, and you have captured everything. My question is, how do virtual worlds make this different from, say, IRC or Twitter? 2 words to summarize why WoW is so great for quantitative research: scale and access. WoW lets you study interactions between tens of thousands of players connected simultaneously to the same online community, over a very long period of time. The game's been out for almost 4 years now. Previous online communities did not offer that. Usenet was very large, for instance, but asynchronous and fragmented into many topic-centered subgroups. IRC-based groups were real-time but quite small, etc. And Blizzard's decision to open their user interface for programming makes it fairly straightforward to extract data out of the game, automatically or not. This combination of scale and access is a goldmine for a quantitative scientist. So real-time is part of the difference, and scale? Question: what are some advantages of qualitative research in WoW? And longevity. Yes. The people in the community seem to change over time, though. I'd say real-time, but also interactions over time. Even more so, in EVE, there are 40k people connected at once and nearly real economics. Quantitative research. We shouldn't forget that the existence of replicates, induced by servers, is particularly attractive. Arguably something like a culture emerges in WoW, which strengthens the validity of research methods that do not use large random samples. Bringing the quantitative methodology much closer to, say, the natural sciences. Guild interactions do replicate a social structure, or can. For example, comparing PvP versus normal servers, or comparing across many realms of the same type. There are a staggeringly large number of world features held constant. It might be more pain than fun at first. So, what sorts of qualitative research would one do in WoW? We have some data about the difference between PvP and non-PvP servers, and they're less important than you may think. Quantitative I can see, but qualitative? Well, we do a lot of ethnographic research in games. This is a very common method for games and virtual worlds research. And I think there is a whole discourse developing about how best to do this. WoW is a good place for radical RP participant observation, where you really get into a character and feel its experiences. Another area of qualitative research is historical research about what happens in the world. So the point I wanted to make is that when we want to study the way cultures are constructed over time, qualitative research is particularly good for this ethnography in particular, because it looks at the social system holistically. WoW's interface is in some sense a mini ethnographer toolbox. You can take screenshots easily, and the logs of your interactions can be saved automatically. So it's really easy to document the qualitative life of the group you are immersed in, which lets you focus more on what matters: observing. I think there is a process of social construction taking place here. And in other virtual worlds, people are involved in building cultures on top of entertainment products. As an ethnographer, those angles are key for me, that is for sure. It is possible that we may in WoW observe the gradual emergence of postmodern ethics, relevant to a real world that may possibly become more and more like Azeroth, in which groups compete over insufficient resources. The main method of ethnography is participant observation. Question: how does the multicultural player base affect WoW play? Just to be clear, I said ethnography, not ethnology. Those are 2 very different things. Classical anthro-ethnography relied heavily upon outsider observation and native informants. Ethnography is an approach to qualitative research. Ethnology is the study of ethnicities. Ethnology is the comparison of multiple cultures, whether qualitative or quantitative. There have been some ethnologies, though, too. I think an interesting point might be the effect of the culture, once established, on the game world itself. WoW used to be much more multilingual and intercultural. Now that servers are nation-state language specific, player populations have become much more homogeneous.